What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Dash today. It is the 22nd day of November, and here we are at about $58 right now with 6 hours and 36 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. First and foremost, I want to say, yes, I was wrong. I was wrong. We've had a lot of good calls with Dash on this road to recovery higher. We called this low here. And at the top, we were expecting turbulence, right? Finding resistance at prior support. However, where we were looking to find support, it did not come into effect. Yesterday, when we were at, I want to say we were at $70 or somewhere around there, I did say that if we closed a day below $62, that would be all I needed. That's all the proof I needed to suggest that we are going lower. So even though I haven't made a video since yesterday, because of that stipulation in the call there, understand that we are bearish on Dash now. If you're watching this video and you're like, I hope that he's still bullish, nope, I was wrong. I was wrong. We were thinking that this would move up higher. Of course, it wouldn't be a straight shot. We thought that we might consolidate, find a higher low, do our thing, and then boom, then we're breaking out and moving higher. But clearly we've broken structure. I think this is more of the same correction. And if we look at this here, we've got a B, C correction possibly. ABC corrections right here, Elliott correction wave, ABC, they're typically symmetrical, right? They look like little lightning bolts. So the fact that this here, from a high to a low, is bigger, significantly bigger, I might add, than this here is, we probably do have lower to go. Typically, if anything, if either of these legs are bigger, it's typically not the A leg, it's the C leg. So this would be the bigger leg. I would assume and do assume that we have lower to go. Let's look at Dash here on Coinbase. So we have some volume. You know what's nice is that there isn't a whole lot of volume here on this drop. If we had more volume, it's still decent volume. Don't get me wrong. But it's kind of interesting that does leave the door open for a fake out. I could be wrong twice here. Maybe we're bearish at the lows for no reason. I want to look at some other stuff, and maybe I'll have to redact my bearish claims, but let's just see. From a high to a low, we haven't even hit the 1272. The low today is at $52.64. I would expect that we do go lower. I'm pretty confident that we will find support somewhere between $47.60 and $42. That's my perspective. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my perspective. I do believe that Dash will still return to higher prices. Anybody holding Dash, you will benefit from this, from any kind of buying here. You definitely will in time. Even if you bought the high, you'll benefit from that in time as well. It's okay to buy the high sometimes in crypto. It's just not okay to buy the high and sell the low. Right? This guy felt dumb for a long time. Not for a long time, for like a week and a half. And then he felt so smart. You know what I mean? The lady that bought here, she felt dumb for about a week. And then she felt so smart. You know what I mean? Like it's all relevant. It's all relative. Sorry, and relevant. Whatever. Anyways, looking at the short-term stuff. Looking at the 1 hour time frame here. The 1 hour RSI has flipped very bearish. Yes, very bearish. I would expect from here that we don't get above this high, in which case we will either reject the overbought zone again, or likely reject the 60 or the 65 somewhere around here. So higher from here. By the time most of you watch this, I would assume we're probably up above $58. But I doubt that we're above like 65. Okay. Understand that breaking below 62, closing a day below 62 is what made us bearish. Closing back above 62 will not do the same. It will not make us bullish. You could pull all the way back up to $80 from here and still be bearish, right? Still be in a lower high trend. I don't care, right? We're not bullish again until you get a day to close above about $100. Okay, that's what it is. Or until we see other implications that suggest a reversal. At this point in time, I'm very much open to the idea of a little recovery and then down, more lower to go. Probably below $50. Probably not below $40 though, right? I think it was 51 to 41 was the price target. I mean, to be completely fair, we actually did go right to 52. 51 to 41 though, that was the price target from yesterday if we were to go lower. I know we talked about that at length. 1 hour stochastic suggesting that we have higher to go momentarily. Again, a little bit higher, but we're probably going to find resistance at the 60 area. The MACD is bearish overall, nothing really to go off of there. 4 hour time frame crossed below the zero. You did not hold the zero support. Unfortunately, you crossed below and you pushed lower. We thought you'd hold support here and you didn't. You had a little bit of a lift up. But let's just see what we did here for future references. Couldn't even hit the 382. Yeah, that's bearish. If you can't even hit the 382 and you come back down to your 6.9, you're likely going to go lower. Yeah, even even without closing below the $62, we could have flipped bearish easily here at $75, but I didn't make my video yesterday, so that's neither here nor there. 4 hour time frame. MACD, no bullish divergence. RSI, stochastics, no bullish divergence. They're all bearish at the moment. They're all oversold at the moment. So a little bit of recovery again, but I don't care if we go all the way up to $73. I don't care if we go all the way up to $83. I will say, tell you what, if we can get above $85, maybe then we can flip bullish a little bit. If we get a day to close above $82, maybe we can flip bullish a little bit, but I would think $100 is really that end all be all right now, just because of how wonky the price action is. I want to be more rigid with my expectations here. So because we really could move all the way up here to $96, form a lower high, and then keep moving down. You know what I mean? So until we get a day to close above 100, that's really the stamp of approval we need. At this point, I'm not expecting that much recovery. I would expect more, something toward like 60 to maybe 69, $70, somewhere right there. And then we likely do pursue lower prices. We take this low here to this high right here, and the target area assumed would be something between about $52 to $42 right there. And that's based off of this fib. If we take this from a low here to a high here, the presumed outcome would be $51 to $40. So maybe we do move to $40. But again, a close below the 382 is what did it. We're statistically likely to at least interact with the 0.5 or the golden ratio. Right? Technically more likely to interact with the golden ratio, but we'll see. I'm not there yet. Maybe we do go $34 to $40. Maybe we do go there, but at least something that's around $51, if not lower. So we could set ourselves up for a slightly lower double bottom, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if we did go lower. Okay, it depends. There's some things that we can do to establish that we are around a low point here, but not yet. Daily time frame. Lower lows in the RSI and higher lows in the price, hidden bullish divergence. This was hidden bullish divergence. We saw that move. It just wasn't enough to keep going. Now we have lower lows in the price with lower lows in the RSI. We are kind of in a downtrend. I would expect that this doesn't resolve itself until we're in the oversold zone. So it's very likely that Dash here, regardless of where or what we do, it's very likely that we consolidate until some point in December. Probably even like going into the first week or second week of December at the end there. The end of the first week, end of the second week. You do have bullish divergence? You do have bullish divergence on the MACD. That's nice. You'll probably get rid of that. You probably will get rid of that. Let the MACD come down to the zero, find support around there, and then move up. Let the RSI come to the oversold zone, find some support, and then move up. I think December you will move up. You just probably move down or / consolidate for the rest of this month here. I'm not expecting anything crazy. When we do move higher, it's not if, but when we do move higher, it's very probable that we will see something of a price around 240 to 340, if not perhaps even as high as like 480. Anything and everything in between. We look at Dash on its all-time history chart, and we can set up that same fib, from a high here to a low here. The fact that you went from your golden ratio to your 0.5382 zone, typically you do find support here and then you move higher. The fact that we're going lower does open the door to go down to the 236. And the 236 is all the way at $38. We have targets to make sense out of that, right? $34 to $40. That is our golden ratio retracement from this low here to this high here. $39.60 to $33.95, $34 to $40. Our 236 is right there, and that's right at the golden ratio. I mean, it makes sense that we might go down there to find support. Prior resistance here, prior support back here, prior support back here. It kind of makes sense if we're not going to hold this area that would be the next area that we go to. It is uncommon to go from your golden ratio down here, but typically even in this situation you would expect to return to the 786, 886. This does make it less probable that we go above the 886 and even less probable that we go above the 786. So there's a lot of attention right here at this $240 area to roughly like a $300, $240 to $280 area. There's a lot of attention there. So when we move up there, I don't know, probably by the end of this year. We probably consolidate between now and the next couple of weeks would be my guess. And then sometime in December, we'll make our move up. If we're not up here at 240 and it's the end of the year, we're on our way there. And in January, we'll be there, 240 to 330, somewhere in that area. And I am accepting of the idea that Dash does see new all-time highs by the end of the cycle. From a high to a low here, your all-time high to your bear market low here, if we take away this fib, right? Remember, this fib, the 786 and 886 is between 235 and 327. The golden ratio splits that of the greater fib here at 287. So there is a solid chance that when we recover, we do just run all the way up to this 287 area. I got to admit, just looking at it like this, I would think we do. I take it back, even though going from the golden ratio to your 236 does hurt your chances of getting above the 786, right? If we look at this based off of just this fib alone, it's very improbable that we stop below the golden ratio. So I would think we do push probably 327, let's say 330 to make it easy, to 290. Final verdict, 290 to 330. That's the next stopping point when, not if, but when we move higher. Before then, here at $58, we have to find support. We don't have to, but we likely find support at $51 to $34. I could see any outcome happening. I mean, there's a chance we find support at 51, and that holds when we move higher. There's a solid chance that we go down to $34 to $40, somewhere in there, and then we move higher. But something like that, and then we move higher. Again, you might feel dumb if you bought the high. We were not advocating for the buy here. We were definitely not. We were advocating for the sell at the top, actually, like quite literally at like 140. We've got receipts on that. You can check my videos from 2 weeks ago at this point. But even if you bought the high, you've got a solid, sturdy chance of seeing 100% growth as long as you just hold. And if you stack more, that only amplifies your returns. But I got nothing else for you guys. Dash can see new all-time highs, but I'm not there yet. I wouldn't bet on Dash seeing new all-time highs by the end of this cycle. I also wouldn't bet against it. That's where I'm at right now. I need to see more. And I'll tell you what, this right here is not a good start if you want to see all-time highs. This is a good start for saying that, hey, you were dormant, you just kind of got a random pump. You know what I mean? Even with that, I think it continues. I do believe in everything I said, but as far as getting past these points, getting to new all-time highs go, I'm accepting of it, but I'm not expecting of it yet. Okay? Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. By the way, if we do see new all-time highs, there's a few outcomes, right? We could see a slightly higher high in which we double top. Maybe we stop at 1600. Perhaps we do run all the way up to 5500, but again, I'm not there yet because 5500 from here, man. I mean, we're talking about a move on this coin that's like 93x. I'm not there yet, right? Because we're talking about new all-time highs at all. It's either going to be a fake out, which is a 30x. I could kind of get behind that. But if it's going to be new all-time highs and we're breaking out, that's a near 100x, man. It's hard for me to accept that at this point here. But depending on what we do with this range, we can definitely bring this potential price target into reality. We just have to be patient and see. I'm under the impression right now, if I had to guess, that we take out this high, but we don't take out this high. Maybe by the end of the cycle we see a slightly higher high, maybe, but I would assume we stop somewhere between like $615 and maybe $1,600, somewhere in this range by the end of the cycle. But we'll get to that. We'll see. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.